Next on Worcester News tonight, a free ride in Worcester. A new study recommends the WRTA eliminate fares on their buses. Plus, lights, camera, action. Hollywood hits downtown Worcester again, and fans want in on the action. But first, we begin tonight with developing news. Massachusetts State Police are investigating an unattended death at the Worcester Regional Airport. Good evening, I'm Olivia Lemon. State Police say troopers responded to the airport around 2 p.m. today for reports of an adult male found unresponsive in a facility trailer at the airport. The man was a Massport employee. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. Massport released a statement saying in part, "This is a terrible loss for Massport and the entire Worcester Regional Airport community. The cause of the death is under investigation." Switching gears now, a beautiful but windy day in the city, but could we be seeing more rain over the next few days? Let's get a first look at our local forecast with meteorologist Pamela Gardner.
Hey there, meteorologist Pamela Gardner. What a fantastic day we've had. Once again, temperatures soared into the mid-60s across central Massachusetts, and this evening we stay in the low 60s with some thin cirrus clouds overnight tonight. A few more clouds roll into the forecast from the west. 57 degrees for that overnight temp, and then tomorrow morning we drop to 50 degrees. A few clouds, but otherwise we're starting off the day dry. High pressure in control for your overnight forecast, and our next area of low pressure though moves in once we get into your Thursday evening forecast, and that's where we're tracking a couple scattered showers, maybe even a thunderstorm late in the day. But sunset watch this evening. There are some wildfires across Alberta, Canada, and some of that smoke has made its way across central Massachusetts. So as the sun sets tonight, with that smoke in the atmosphere, it could lead to some brilliant sunsets. Send us your photos. We'd love to see them. Showers for Thursday. I'm timing that in your forecast. We remain unsettled as well, but no washouts for the Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you in just a bit for the 10-day.
All right, thank you, Pamela. A new report looks into the possibility of removing fares on city buses. The Research Bureau says the move might actually improve operations for the Worcester Regional Transit Authority. Our Gretchen LaRosa is live in Worcester with more details. Gretchen.
Olivia, the WRTA's goal is to get more people to ride the bus, but in recent years, they've had to cut services and increase fares. This new study suggests making their rides free. A Worcester Regional Research Bureau study suggests eliminating fares on the WRTA.
Most of the WRTA's money comes from other sources. We get a lot in state aid and federal aid, and only 14% comes from fares.
Fares account for about $3 million to the Worcester Regional Transit Authority's annual budget. But research associate Tom Quinn says data from other cities show fare-free service boosts ridership on buses. And after looking at the numbers, he says it's possible here.
But when you stop collecting fares, you don't need to slow down the buses for boarding. It eliminates all sorts of inefficiencies with paying for fare boxes and maintaining fare boxes.
The WRTA says they are looking at ways to operate more efficiently, including the fareless option.
Clearly, getting the fares collected that are owed is the first step, and that's where we're looking at changing to another system, more electronic-based, more app-driven, a swipe and go kind of card.
The WRTA says the study is a great start, but there are plenty of steps to take before they could follow its recommendations.
The Worcester Research Bureau report was a high-level look at whether or not taking fares out of the system was doable, and that's certainly doable. Will it have an impact on ridership? That's to be determined.
Now, the WRTA says they're hoping to have their app-based fare program in place by the end of this year. Gretchen LaRosa, Worcester News Tonight.
A fallen Auburn police officer is being remembered on the 3rd anniversary of his death in the line of duty. Today, officers placed a wreath at the police station's memorial to Officer Ronald Tarentino Jr. He was fatally shot during a traffic stop on this day in 2016. Auburn firefighters also cleaned up the site where Officer Tarentino was killed and planted flowers in his honor.
This day is a sad day for the community as a whole. We lost a great police officer, a great husband, a great father. He was just out doing his job and, gunned down senselessly by a violent criminal.
Tarentino was 42 years old. He left behind his wife and 3 children. One of his sons was recently hired by Auburn Police as a part-time dispatcher. The state sending a letter to the White Oak Land Conservation Society indicating they're conducting a study. It's looking at 14 high-hazard dams in the state found to be in poor or unsafe condition. The Department of Conservation and Recreation's Office of Dam Safety says Eagle Lake in Holden is one of the dams. The goal of the study is to compile information including needed capital improvements and evaluate ways to fund and support capital improvements. A startup group in Worcester is working on a treatment for arterial diseases related to the buildup of fatty material. HDL Therapeutics had positive results in its first clinical trial. The company is based out of Florida, but using incubator space at Massachusetts Biomedical Initiative's facility on Barber Ave. They are developing a therapy using a patient's own blood plasma and enriching it to help the body remove fatty materials known as lipids. Well, Hollywood is back in the city. An action movie is filming in downtown, and its star power is drawing a lot of attention from fans. Our Chandler Walsh joins us from Franklin Street, which became part of the movie set this afternoon. Chandler.
Olivia, a movie starring Ryan Reynolds is wrapping up filming here on Franklin Street. This isn't exactly a new scene for Worcester. Chris Evans was here for filming in April and Liam Neeson in November. Crowds around Worcester Common hope to get a glimpse of a Hollywood movie taking over the area.
It's great. I mean, why not? Why not here?
Crews are filming a movie called Free Guy. It stars Ryan Reynolds as a bank teller who discovers he's actually a player inside a video game.
I think it's an amazing opportunity for Central Mass. There's so many great aspects of it that can get featured, so I think it's great.
Parts of Franklin and Portland streets were closed for filming, and the Common was roped off Wednesday. Kristen Vadia and her family weren't expecting to see this much production.
We're running an errand at City Hall and happened to just come outside. So
David Simpson lives a short walk away and took the day off to enjoy the sun and take in the filming frenzy.
I've just seen a couple of shots over there. It seemed like it'd be pretty interesting to be watching, so that's why I'm just sitting back taking a look at it.
Vadia says she's more likely to see the movie since it's being filmed in Worcester. She thinks the city should celebrate it as well.
I think they should also try to do some type of a screening to allow some of the people that were involved in it and in this area to come see it. So.
Parts of Portland and Franklin Street will remain closed for just under an hour. The movie is set to be released in July 2020. Live in Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Millions are expected to hit the road this weekend. Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer, and it's also one of the busiest travel times of the year. Our Brittany Schaefer has new details on what to expect this week. Brittany.
Olivia, close to 1 million people will be driving in Massachusetts alone. AAA says in Worcester, it'll be very busy tomorrow and Friday, with commuters adding to the regular holiday rush. Dan Germano is preparing his truck for the road ahead and for what's expected to be a busy holiday travel weekend.
Just filling up my air and my tires, getting ready to go.
The Worcester resident is going to a rock concert on Memorial Day weekend. He says he expects heavy traffic heading towards Boston.
I get a day off, so it's something to do, something out of the ordinary. I expect to be a little more traffic than usual, but we can handle that. You leave a little early. I get my tapes ready, put my CDs in of the old days. I get some old-time heavy metal going, and I get in the mood for it.
AAA Northeast is predicting this Memorial Day weekend will be one of the busiest on record in Massachusetts, with close to 1 million traveling by car. Spokesperson Mary McGuire says the busiest days will be Thursday, Friday, and Monday.
We are actually projecting that the very busiest time will be on the holiday itself, Monday from 3:45 to 5:45, as many drivers return from their holiday getaways.
McGuire says falling gas prices and nice weather will only increase the number of travelers.
I would advise motorists to tank up early if possible before the start of the weekend, because it's possible that retailers may boost prices a bit because of the fact that we're going to see heavy demand for gasoline.
Berlin resident Nick Bartlett says he'll be avoiding traffic this weekend by staying in, but has advice for motorists.
It's an advantage to be staying at home for the weekend. I would say either leave the house early or leave the house way later than anybody else would, and I think any time that you have music that you like to listen to would make it an easier drive. Drive with people that you like, drive with people that you are going to the place with, right? It's carpool.
McGuire says Cape Cod and the Berkshires will be popular destinations. Her advice is to use real-time traffic apps to avoid problem areas. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.